I'm in the hotel lobby here, so
That's cool.
You're all good.
yeah.
That's cool. You're at the media party. So how's everything? How's the food first? How's
Well,
the?
I'm not there yet. I thought I would just do it here at the lobby and then take the shuttle over. I think it goes to like 10 or 11. So, and they're running shuttles over there till 8:30. So,
Okay.
got some time. But I'm hoping the food's good because I'm a little hungry.
Yeah, hope they have some good stuff for you. Some good Southwest stuff. That'll be good. So talk about this game coming up. It's been 2 weeks since the 49ers. We had you on for that 49ers game. So what did you take from that game, and hopefully the Eagles could carry it over to this one.
Well, I guess two takeaways are, this pass rush, right? But, you could say that all year, but it was really on display again against the 49ers. And, Kyle Shanahan, for all his alleged offensive genius, did not have a plan to block Hassan Reddick. Shame on him, because Reddick took that game over and destroyed it with the sack of Brock Purdy, knocking him out of the game. And then again, the Ndamukong Suh hits the backup, Josh Johnson, gives him a concussion, so Purdy has to come in, game over. He can't throw the ball, has a torn UCL, going to miss 6 months. But, again, that's not the Eagles' fault. That's Kyle Shanahan's fault for a game plan that just didn't account for an Eagles pass rush that had 75 sacks, including playoffs, coming into that game. So that's my first takeaway. Second takeaway is, Jalen Hurts, again, second straight playoff game, didn't have to do a lot. The Eagles ran the ball very well against the top-ranked defense in the NFL. They put up 148 yards, and they ran for 4 touchdowns. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. So, the defensive side, the sack thing, and then on the offensive side, the rushing game were the two takeaways out of that game.
Man, you got a question for Ed?
Yes. What would the Eagles need to do to pull off a win and to ultimately win the Super Bowl? And do you think that the offensive line of the Eagles, do you think that they're going to be able to hold the defense of them back, so then they don't go ahead and sack Jalen Hurts at all?
Well, the key is obviously Mahomes, right? I mean, he's the guy that you have to stop because he's the probable MVP. We'll find that out this week, who the MVP is, but it's going to be Mahomes. And the Eagles are going to have to find a way to contend with him. He can make plays with his feet, keep things alive. But again, this defense, the Chiefs are going to have to figure out a way how to block this defensive front, because once it gets rolling, it's hard to stop. But again, Mahomes is very dangerous back there, so you have to, find a way to get to him, and you have to find a way to cover Travis Kelce, the great tight end, probably a Pro Bowler, playing against his brother. His team won't play against his brother on the field because they're both offensive players, but younger brother Travis Kelce, great tight end and brother of Jason Kelce, but you got to stop Travis. I mean, this guy, he's one of the best tight ends. He's the best tight end in the league. And so the Eagles are going to have to figure out a way, because those are the two key weapons to me to stopping this offense, at least keeping it contained. And that's where it has to start. You can't let one of those guys wreck your game. And then from the Eagles standpoint, what they have to do offensively is, again, I think run the football. That's the best way to keep Mahomes and that offense on the sideline, is to, you eat up some clock with the running game. But I think they're going to try to throw it. They always try to throw early and then run late. And, the Eagles have two great wide receivers that haven't done much in the playoffs, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. So, they could look to get those two guys involved early, quick hitting plays, etc., and take advantage of the, some of the mismatches that those guys present on offense.
Well, I know that the Eagles have had a great defense in the playoffs and everything, especially with the last game that they played. Granted, the quarterbacks did all tumble and everything, but they only gave up 7 points. Do you think that they are able to give up 14 points or less to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I doubt it. I think this game will be played into the 20s, maybe into the 30s. I think it's going to, remember 5 years ago when the Eagles beat the Patriots, they played 41-33, offense all over the field. Now, I think the Eagles' defense is better than that defense, but that doesn't mean they're going to hold them under 14 points. No, I don't see that happening. I think the Chiefs will get it into the 20s, and the Eagles are going to have to score right along with them, and they're not going to have to want to settle for field goals because the Chiefs can score touchdowns. So, Nick Sirianni has been very aggressive all season long, going for it in fourth down situations, and I expect more of the same. And he's going to want to score touchdowns and not kick field goals in this game.
Yeah. And these two teams played last year, and last year was a totally different year, up in Philadelphia. Is there anything from that game that, you could see that might help them this year against the Chiefs, or the Chiefs vice versa against the Eagles? Anything they could see?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't. Yeah,
okay.
so you guys are lucky I picked you. That's all I'll say. But anyhow, what was the question? I'm sorry. Oh,
They played last year. So
you look at the top four tacklers for the Eagles in that game. They're not even on the team anymore on defense. You had Alex Singleton had 11 tackles. Anthony Harris had 10. Eric Wilson had 9, and then Jannard Avery had 7. I mean, those guys are long gone. This is a completely new defense now. I think there might be some aspects you can study to pick up some tendencies, but, you can't look at that game. And the Chiefs dominated that game. I mean, they scored touchdowns on, I think, 7 of their 8 possessions in that game. And, you can't have that in a Super Bowl where you're just not going to win. But, again, this defense is better. I think there's some things you can pick up from that game. Yeah, I mean, if you study the tape and, Nick Sirianni doesn't leave any stone unturned, he'll take a look at it. There's some footage there.
yeah.
But, yeah, I think that, what those tendencies are, I really couldn't say for sure because the Eagles were out of it and, they had to kind of alter their game plan a little bit. They settled for a field goal on the first drive and went up 3-0, and that was a mistake. And, maybe that's something you learn is, hey, we can't settle for a field goal in this game. We have to go for it on a touchdown. We have to be able to put 7 up instead of 3 because this Chiefs offense is dangerous. Even against a very good defense like the Eagles, it's still a very dangerous offense.
Yeah. Adam, you get a last question?
Yeah, talk to us about Jalen Hurts. He's been in this situation. He played for a national championship when he was in college, and you think that momentum when he plays for a national championship will help him in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that was actually a discussion going into the NFC Championship game was how much, college experience from players like Jalen and Devontae Smith also played for a national title, Landon Dickerson, Jordan Davis, the Georgia tackle. He's on. I mean, there's guys on this Eagles team that have played in title games in college. And, I think that kind of translates. But, you look at the Super Bowl, especially this week, it's crazy. There's media everywhere asking questions that the players have to talk every day. We had them today, both the Chiefs and the Eagles, and, everybody's on a podium. And you just go around and ask them questions. You have like about an hour and 15 minutes to go around and talk to them. And that kind of scrutiny, you don't get that in college, so that's a whole different level at this stage of the game. Now, in the NFC Championship game, I think that college experience translates. I'm not so sure in the preparation if it translates because they don't have this kind of a stage in college before the national championship game. So it'll be interesting. Devontae Smith was funny today. He was asked about distractions. He goes, "It doesn't bother me any. All I do is sleep anyway." So, that was kind of a good answer. But, we'll see how they manage these distractions for a second-year head coach versus a 20-plus year veteran and Andy Reid with a very good staff. The Chiefs have been here 3 out of 4 years in the Super Bowl. They know about these distractions. The Eagles have some guys that have been here from 2018. But not as many as you think. So, we'll see if that college experience becomes a helpful factor for the Eagles this week. I don't know. I thought it was a big factor against the 49ers, but on a stage like this, it's just raised so many levels with the distractions that take place this week.
Exactly. Well, Ed, I'm going to let you go so you can enjoy some fine dining. So thanks for coming on tonight and enjoy your stay out there in Phoenix.
Yep. Thanks, fellas. Have a good night.
All right.
Yes,
See ya.
sir. Thanks,
Bye.
Ed.
Yeah. I would love to go to the NFL Super Bowl for 1 year.
Same here.
Oh
Same
yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be running around that place like my head will chop off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's I just see things as like, wow, these people are great. Out
Yeah.
there. And,
I would be like, I'm a Chris. I would be like, am I in heaven or am I in Iowa?
like Radio Row. I was watching some people that I know who are on Radio Row right now, and I'm like, really? You're not really doing anything. And it makes me really upset that you're just walking around taking pictures of things. Like, do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job. If not, call me. I'll come out there and take your spot. I'm like, it's like, and I don't understand these, like, I know they have so many media people, and I understand that.
Mhm.
Tons of media people, but it's like, come on, what do you do? You could call some people.
Mhm.
So anyway, well, let's wrap up the show here. Thanks for folks for joining us. Thanks for joining us for our Super Bowl preview for this Tuesday night. And there is a birthday today. I forgot. We talked about the Chiefs. The Chiefs did play in the Super Bowl on this date back in 2001, and they did lose to Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then the forecast for the folks in the desert on Sunday night in Phoenix or outside of Phoenix in Glendale.